My mother-in-law called me useless whore because I had a baby with another man and told my kids to call me that too. Now she's begging to see them after I banned her from my house. I met my husband in high school and in senior year I got pregnant. I decided to keep her and we had a daughter together. Unfortunately, when she turned 1, we decided that our relationship was no longer working and decided to go our separate ways. We both ended in relationships and I got pregnant with my new boyfriend and I had another daughter. But then this relationship ended and he refused contact with his daughter. In the following months, my husband's relationship also ended. 2 years later, I reconnected with my husband and after rekindling, we eloped. When my husband and I announced that we were back together, we announced my second daughter. My mother-in-law did not take kindly to her. She wouldn't look at her directly, and for the past 2 years, she has continuously treated her differently to our first. For example, she'd buy bigger birthday and Christmas presents for our eldest, and surprise our eldest with activities just for them two and excluding the youngest. I have brought this up with my husband, who also thought it was strange, but when we confronted his mom, she claimed she didn't mean to exclude our youngest daughter and just feels more connected to our eldest. This hurt, but I tried to let it go, because some people have stronger relationships than others, and my husband seemed to accept this answer. However, things changed when I got a new job, and instead of working from home like my last job, I had to commute. Therefore, my mother-in-law stepped in to look after our daughters before and after school until my husband or I picked them up from her house. I've noticed that whenever I pick them up, they are often angry and snappy with me, particularly my eldest. It's odd and they've never been like this before, but I chalked this down to a long day at school, feeling exhausted and have tried not to take this to heart. But 3 days ago, I was making them a snack after picking them up from their grandma. I gave my eldest toast and apparently used too much butter, and she went into hysterics screaming at me, useless whore. My daughter is 8. No 8-year-old should know that word, let alone use it towards their mother. That's why I knew she had to have learnt that from somewhere. I brought it up to my husband later that night and he suddenly went quiet and got defensive about the subject. He was quick to shut the conversation down. From his reaction, I assumed it was him who had said this to our daughter, so I asked my daughter where she heard those new words she used yesterday, when mommy didn't butter her toast evenly. To my surprise, she told me that it was my mother-in-law who had used these words to describe me. She did it often and said it to our daughters. I was livid. I made sure they didn't go anywhere near her that day by leaving work early and picking them up from school. When my husband got home, I confronted him about what our daughter had told me, and he confirmed that his mom has called me a useless weird to him before. It was all because I had a daughter with another man during our separation. He said that she believes our youngest daughter is not part of her family, and that I am a whore for getting myself pregnant with someone that was not her son. I had never been more angry and upset. It all started to make sense. The exclusion, the big gifts for our eldest, the anger displayed towards me when I collect them. This has all stemmed from how this woman has spoken about me to my own children. I told my husband that the children are never seeing his mom again, and I will gladly make other arrangements for our daughters. Since then, my mother-in-law has called and texted a lot to attempt to apologize to me. Then it turned to outright denial, and then defensive opinions about our youngest daughter's conception after I refused to acknowledge her texts. My husband said to give her another chance, and I cannot be certain that she has been saying this about me to our children, which is BS because he has admitted she has used those words. He said I'm a major a-hole for refusing his mother any contact with her granddaughters, even if it is supervised. I told him I didn't care, and I can see where he gets the name calling from. I never want to see that woman again, and I don't take lightly to being called a whore, especially by my 8-year-old daughter.